What's going on, guys? What's going on? I'm Jay the Black. And in continuing to speak on this particular Diddy situation, the full indictment is out. I will be going over it in this video. I may even speak about it more when I go live on my Jay the Black Livestreams 2 channel. But I want to speak about 50 Cent, because 50 Cent hasn't had too much to say about the Diddy arrest, the indictment, but he did speak on what was found in Diddy's home. Apparently, Diddy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil and 1,000 bottles of lube. And Diddy took to 50 Cent took to social media to mock him about it. Now, he hasn't said too much, but I think it's because the situation has gotten serious. I think he's kind of stepping back a little bit. Now, he may say more down the line, but this is what he posted on social media here. He says, "Here I am keeping good company with Drew Barrymore, and I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house." And this is all part of what's going on with Diddy. This man is in a very bad shape right now, because there's a chance he's never going to get out of jail. There's a chance that Diddy is never getting out, especially with the charges they're bringing against him. They arrested him a day early, and according to reports, they feel like he's a flight risk, and they're trying to hold him. So he may never get out, at least until the start of the trial. And if he does somehow get out, they're trying to put a huge bond on him. And again, this is a situation that Diddy brought upon himself, because Diddy's somebody that felt like he was untouchable. And when people feel like they're untouchable, they will do things and make mistakes. And he did. Diddy made so many mistakes. He brought a lot of this on himself due to his behaviors, him constantly putting his hands on the women that he's dating, the parties, the Little Rod lawsuit, the things that came out from that. Now you got Dawn Richards suing him. I just feel like Diddy did this to himself. It's hard to feel sorry for somebody that he could have changed. Diddy could have changed these behaviors a long time ago, and he chose not to because he felt like he was untouchable. You know, there was talk that he was actually a government asset, that he was actually out here telling on people, and that's why he stayed out of trouble. But I think for a long time, the government has been trying to get him, and all they needed was Cassie. All the government needed to take Diddy down, figuratively, and possibly literally, is Cassie. She was the one. She was with him for a while, and the way he treated that woman is why he's where he is now. And 50 Cent has been antagonizing Diddy for a long time. He's been putting it out there that Diddy's weird and that Diddy was into certain things. We all know about the infamous Diddy parties. That stuff has been out there. The question was Diddy ever going to get in any trouble for those things, right? Coercing people into sleeping with him, having relations with him, right? These are behaviors that we used to hear about 20, 30 years ago, or even 10 years ago. But the fact that Diddy is still engaging in these behaviors years later lets me know that this guy really had no sense of law. And he must have felt real comfortable in thinking that they wouldn't come after him. Of course they're going to come after you. You're a black man who's successful. You're easy pickings. All right, especially because Diddy doesn't really have any real friends. Diddy doesn't have any real friends. And it was very clear when he first was outed with the Cassie situation. Where was his friends at? They all abandoned him. Well, except for Stevie J, who I spoke about wanted to fight 50 Cent, right? That's the only friend in the industry he had left. So let's get into this article. Sean Diddy Combs is appearing in New York City court on Tuesday, September 17th. as he faces federal sex crime charges. The 54-year-old music mogul was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. According to a federal indictment on Monday, Combs was arrested by federal agents based on then sealed indictment filed by prosecutors. According to the Office of the U.S. Attorney of the Southern District of New York, sources previously told people that the arrest took place at a New York City hotel. Combs' attorney, Mark, told reporters outside the courthouse on Tuesday that the star would fight the charges with all his energy. That doesn't sound good. With all his energy. That does not sound good. He's going to plead not guilty, obviously. In a 14-page indictment, prosecutors alleged the music mogul coerced multiple women into performing elaborate and produced performances with workers and characterized the events as freak-offs. You talk about a word that has ascended, freak-offs, right? In addition to orchestrating and directing the freak-offs, Combs would record the gatherings and masturbate while watching the events unfold, prosecutors alleged. Federal authorities raided Combs' home in Miami and in LA in March after several lawsuits alleged abuse were filed against Combs. That's all they needed. That was the match that lit everything. You know, Diddy should have been the one that went celibate, because this man clearly was having way too much relations and he needed a break, because the more you continue to go down these roads, the more depravity that you get involved in, to the point to where you're not even having relations. You're watching other people have relations. In November of last year, singer Cassie sued him in New York, accusing him of taking advantage of her throughout their decade-long relationship. The lawsuit was settled one day following the filing. That doesn't help him at all either. People at the courthouse to cover throughout that. Now, this was an update. Diddy pleads not guilty. He's going to fight with all his energy. According to multiple reports, Combs pleaded not guilty on Tuesday afternoon. On Tuesday morning, while speaking outside a federal courthouse in Manhattan, his defense attorney, Mark, said his client would plead not guilty, adding he's going to fight this with all his energy and all his might, in full confidence his lawyers, and I expect a long battle with a good result for Mr. Combs. Unless Diddy has something to trade, like some information, I don't see how he gets out of this. Now, again, I'm not saying it's impossible. We've seen situations where we say, okay, this guy is dead to rights, but he ends up surviving it due to whatever agreement or whatnot that happens, right? The indictment refers to Diddy's nicknames, aka Puff Daddy. The indictment against Diddy lays out the crimes alleged against him. It also refers to the many nicknames he has used. For decades, Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, PD, Love, the defendant abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. It begins. These nicknames are referenced nearly 20 more times in the indictment. Defense proposes $50 million bond. Prosecutors want Diddy jailed. The defendant is dangerous. I told y'all they want him locked up. They don't want him free. They want him in jail. They want him in jail. Diddy's defense attorneys have proposed a bail package that includes a $50,000 bond. As part of the package, his travel will be restricted to New York and South Florida, but prosecutors have asked the judge overseeing Combs' case to deny him bail and keep him in jail. Prosecutors wrote in motion to United States magistrate that the defendant is dangerous and pose an ongoing threat to the safety of the community. Do y'all believe that? He's a threat to the community. He was in the community giving gifts recently. If released, he remains a serious risk of flight despite the conditions offered by his counsel. Most glaringly, the defendant also posed a significant risk of obstructing justice. Prosecutors alleged in the motion that Combs has attempted to bribe security staff and threaten and interfere with witnesses. In his criminal conduct, he has already tried to obstruct the government's investigation of this case, repeatedly contacting victims and witnesses and feeding them false narratives of events as described in detail. He doesn't have to be out of jail to continue that. You got other people that can do that, you know. Diddy's son seen reading indictment. Shortly after arriving in Manhattan's federal court Tuesday morning, Sean Diddy Combs' eldest son, Christian King Combs, made his way with a group of 7 men to the 5th floor arraignment room, where they each requested a copy of the indictment. Seated in an orange chair arraignment room and surrounded by other men, the younger Combs is seen reading the 14-page indictment outlining the allegations. Each of the men silently leafed through their own copy of the indictment. We're going to see where this goes. But Diddy's in a lot of trouble. And guys like 50 Cent has been talking about this. And this has been ongoing for years. And I can see why, you know, he's sort of taking a step back. I know he's doing a documentary. And I guess he's going to let legal process play out. Maybe he feel like he's done his part. He ain't got to say no more. But we'll definitely see. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. See y'all next one. Y'all go check out my my breaking news video on Diddy. I'll link that in the description box as well.